Hi, welcome back. And I'm gonna log in with Azure CLI. If you don't have installed CLI, you should be able to do it. And then I'm using Azure login command to simply log onto my Azure account so that I can run the commands. And by default, Azure Docker client specific installation files are not available on your Azure CLI, which is a cloud shell. So that's where we wanted to install Azure CLI on our machine, and then also install Docker client specific commands so that we can run the entire demonstration. So let's jump into that. So you can see here I have three different Azure subscriptions. So let me list as the output in the table format to show you. So I have three different accounts. Out of that, I wanted to set one account, which is my subscription name as old. Wanted to be set as the target. That means whatever the commands I'm going to execute, that's going to be executed on this specific subscription. Now I'm going to run a command called Azure ACR, which is the ACR for the Azure Container Registry. ACR stands for to log in with the name. So the name is the account or the container registry name what we have created in the previous lecture. Like we created two different containers, one with the basic, other one with the premium. So I'm going to use the basic one just for the testing purpose. So let's try to log in here. As you see here, if I try to log in, I got the error. So if I just move the screen properly, you're able to see here as the error stating very clearly Docker command error, where it is asking us to verify if the Docker client is installed and running. As I said, beginning of this video recording, we are trying on a Azure CLI, that's a CLI install on a machine, but we do not have it installed the Docker client. So I will install in the background the Docker client from the specific URL which I'm going to show you. So a simple installation, it's you just have to go to the specific URL and install the client. If you're quite new and you never have any Docker installation, these are the steps to be performed so that on your machine you have the Docker client command. So simply click on the Docker download from the hub. So you have three options: either you just get it from that get Docker, or from the stable version of the Windows desktop side, or if it's a Mac, you have to go for a different URLs. So once you have installed, I'll just try the same command like ACR login-name with my container registry name. So with that, it got installed successfully. So and if you're trying to use the commands with the user ID and password, since in my case it was able to log in automatically. The reason being, I'm the owner of this subscription, so it was automatically logged in. But in your case, if you have already delegated with the permissions of AM or back, then it's definitely you have to enable this box so that it's going to create two different temporary passwords. So let me enable here. So what it's going to do is it's going to create two temporary passwords. So these are the passwords which are not really temporary, but these passwords you can save it even in your Azure wallet, secure wallet, and then you can pull it from there also. But in our case, we're nothing to do it because we have already access. Otherwise, you can use the command line for the username and the password to username as this and the password as any of these passwords. So you can use it and then you can connect it. So in our case, it got directly installed. Now let's also talk about repositories. If you see here, there's no repositories at this point of time under container registry. So here I just logged in. Now it's time for me to connect to one of the Docker repository to and pull it. So let me type the command docker pull, like hello-world is one of the commands. So that would actually pulls that entire repository for us, and the latest one it is pulled. And then post to that, I wanted to tag that so that it be available for me. So I'll just use the docker instead of the pull. There I need to use as a tag. So I'll just simply enter tag, and entire that's my FQDN of my Docker, and then / hello-world with the version name :v1. Now I just tagged it, and now it's time for me to push it. So I pulled, and now I tagged, and now I'm gonna push it. So type push and the FQDN, and then / with the my project name, in this case hello-world :v1. So I pushed it. So it goes to the pushing state. Post to that, I can run that so that it's going to run in my Docker instance. So I need to run next command as the docker run. So once, let's wait for the push to be completed. When the push is completed, yes, I got the digest information. Now I'm going to run as the run, docker run, / again the project name, in this case hello world :v1. So the it was successful, in fact. So once you enter this command, it will show you as a success. So it indicates that you have successfully pulled, and it is working fine. So this is just the indication. Let's go back to repository and refresh. Now this time we should be able to see the pulled image, whatever we pushed out, with the version 1. And if I just click on version 1, I should be able to see here the manifest of the file with the size and media type and other things. So it has successfully pushed. Now let's talk about the securing part. So for the security part, if I just go to networking, and there are 2 points actually. One would be the networking, other one would be the resource logs, and also the or back with the IAM, which is the access control. So 3 points we can talk about it. One would be the networking. If you're just using the basic, you're not going to protect a lot. You need to upgrade to premium. So let's go for the one of the container which we created as a premium in this case. So let me go to the networking. Here I do have I can apply here basically the firewall specific Azure firewall settings can be applied, and you see here Azure. That's my IP, and I can apply for the firewall specific rules within my on-premises, or I can only grant access from a specific IP, or I can use the private endpoint. So I have the option to secured from the Azure firewall under networking options. And the next one would be the logs. So for any of the other products within the Microsoft Azure, the way similarly you do have here option for the logs, so you can apply the Azure logs. So these are the 2 key things to protect your containers, and with these you can protect, and by default it doesn't allow for anybody to connect and grant the access unless you actually provide the access from the user ID, from the access keys, as well as the password, one of the password to be used. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next lecture.